good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. And my name is Carolyn Renée, and I want to welcome you to Art Shouts, which is a podcast of the Southeast Community Cultural Center doing business as the Arts Exchange. So we are the Arts Exchange, and we welcome you to this segment of art and well-being where we have guests on and we really go deep into conversations around wellness and helping, the community be well. And I'm just so excited today to have as our guest Reginald Johnson. And Reginald goes by Reggie. So, yes, I know. So, Reggie Johnson, who is the community marketing representative for CareSource here in Georgia and has been with the company since 2016. Reggie's been in Atlanta his entire life, so we look forward to learning more about that and really working on the front lines of community for the past 30 years. And just a little bit for our listening audience about CareSource. CareSource is a nonprofit health insurance company that serves low income, self employed, and elders in Georgia. So, in addition to offering health insurance, they also offer resources for getting employment. So, we look forward to hearing more about that. And, just really helping people who are out there struggling and trying to be well in all this madness. And so, Reggie, we welcome you to today's Art Shout Wellbeing Show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and the first thing that came to mind as I was studying about your organization is like what drew you into service. Obviously you are a person who has a caring heart, but you got to have a caring heart to really do the kind of work that you're doing. So just really want to hear more about, where that resonates in your spirit and what really called you to community service in this way.
Well, I mean, basically, I got into community service through my mom. So my mother used to do a lot of community type things. And as I got older, I was like sitting there when I got out of school. I really wasn't doing anything. So, my mom, she had me like during the elections. I was a campaigner, holding a sign outside of the polling places, community cleanups and what have you. So we just started doing that, and through her, I started working in doing breast cancer outreach for the in Grady. I was like the only man who was doing it in the Atlanta area, and we would market the comprehensive breast care center at Grady, where they would offer free low cost mammograms to women in Fulton and DeKalb County, and so it's just you know being able to be a part of something in the community. A lot of people, they complain about the way stuff is. There's no more community thing. The neighborhoods aren't the way they used to be. But this difference between actually saying and doing something about it. That's how I just got into it. It's something I've been doing my whole life, really.
Okay, so we're really proud of you for really standing in that. Like I said, and I think you know this to be true. Everybody can't do this kind of work, especially when you're working, in low income communities and people are struggling, right? And so I think with the organization like CareSource, you're really offering a ray of hope to people. And I noticed on the website, it looks like is it a membership based service that you have?
Well, yeah. So, we are CareSource. We're a health insurance company, and we operate in 5 different states. We're based out of Ohio, and it's been around for like over 30 years. So started in 1989, and started. It came to Georgia in 2016. So essentially, what we do is we offer health insurance. So in Georgia, we're part of the Georgia Families Program, and the way people get care source that way is when you apply for Medicaid. or if you get pediatric kids, you're automatically assigned to the health plan. But you have 90 days to switch. And I can get more of this later on. And we also do the marketplace, aka Obamacare. So those people who are self-employed or fall within the you make too much money for Medicaid, but may not have a lot of enough money to get the insurance offering their job. We offer that that as well, and we also have Medicare. So you can so there are numerous ways to get CareSource insurance, and once you get the insurance, then we actually have the additional benefits for our members.
Okay, I see how that works. So I'm curious, being an organization such as we are that caters to art and social justice workers, cultural workers, as we like to call them. So these are
Hmm.
individuals who are, really out in the community being creative. And one of the
Hmm.
things that we hear a lot of in the arts, especially as it relates to artists, is like, don't be a starving artist, right? Because you won't have
Yes.
insurance, you won't have benefits. So, like, speaking to our network and our audience, how can artists engage with you and CareSource to really, take care of themselves and take advantage of some of what you all offer?
Okay, so and that's a really good question. Now, the answer to this may change within a couple of weeks because there are things that may come down. So, but I can only speak as far as right now. But as of right now, to be perfectly honest with you, a lot of things that we can do for certain people are limited because Georgia did not participate in Medicaid expansion. So there are numerous people who in other states would qualify for Medicaid, but unfortunately in Georgia they can't. So, however, the way to do that is the CareSource. We partner with health organizations in the community to offer free sliding scale services. There are numerous medical providers who work on barter services. So we partner with them to partner with them, and then those artists who are actually working for themselves, if they actually make money, then we can actually partner with them to get Obamacare slash marketplace insurance. That's a highly politicized um, topic, and people say, well, it's not really affordable. It's a lot of money, but there are ways programs that you can get, and that can actually be affordable. So the things are, there are numerous ways for those artists because I know I used to be one when I was younger. There are ways for those starving artists to actually have access to things that they don't think that they can get, and that is my job. And that's basically what CareSource employs me to do, to partner with those people to say how you can benefit from CareSource's resources, and just in off cases in Georgia, if you just really can't get that, we have partners that can actually give you those services, and instead for at an affordable or free rate.
So it sounds like you're able to leverage support for our community through partnerships, like through the creative community through
Yes,
partnerships, which
ma'am.
is probably why it's very advantageous for you to be with us when we've had these different
Exactly.
events here at the Arts Exchange. So
Yeah.
just really want to thank you for being a part of our open air artisan market where had a booth. I know we got rained out back on June 5th, but we definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, appreciate you
It's
being a part.
That's a part of community work. You know.
Yes. Well, I have a question for you with regards to like challenges, and what would you say has been the biggest challenge you have had with your specific role right now, and how are you overcoming whatever that challenge is? Or maybe you've
Well,
already
so the
overcome it and you want to share with us your victory. But what is your biggest
well,
challenge in your role right now?
right now, of course, the biggest challenge in my role was COVID because it really does, because when you are community marketing, it's community. So a lot of the things that we would do, especially this time of year, the health fairs, the other community events, those shut down. So it just had to be more creative with how I marketed. So I took more to social media and other avenues and had to be creative. But during regular times, the biggest challenge is the system, you know, and fortunately that is. And so basically showing people how to maneuver um, around a certain barrier. So the system is the biggest issue, so if, which is hard to change. But other than that, it's to get the people who get our services because even through CareSource with our life service program and other programs like Peach Care for Kids, which is a government program that's specifically for children. The children can be covered, but the parents won't. But even though the parents aren't actually covered, they still have access to a lot of our benefits that they can get. And so to identify the members and the potential members and to let them know to understand that there are numerous resources at your disposal for you to take care of things, even your health. And a lot of times, health unfortunately takes uh, the back burner because of social issues. And so we'll say, well, we actually have dedicated staff to assist you, and we have those resources. So the challenges, aside from the system, identifying those people and getting and letting them know the power that they have to, the power that they have to take to manage their health, and to have good outcomes.
Yeah, that's really an important point that you just named, Reggie, is the power that they have, right? The power that we all
Yeah,
have really to manage our health. So I think probably part of your job is to, awaken people to that
yes,
power that they have, right? I want to ask,
yes.
what's been, oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. Just to awaken the
Okay.
people.
Yes, awaken the people. I'm curious about what's been the biggest surprise that you have had in the last few months.
As far as just working with the public, or
Yeah, I think in your role, yes, just in general in your role as marketing representative
well,
for
the
CareSource.
the biggest surprise that I've had is the impact that we have had, as a company on the market. Because as a CareSource came into Georgia in 2016, and
Mhm.
but the Georgia Families Program has existed in Georgia since 2015, since 2005, really. And CareSource is a new company because as I said, I had never heard of CareSource until I got the job. I applied for it, and so since really started August 2017. So since that time, like we had like a 13 year. The other companies had a 13 year, but it took us a while to catch up. But in that time, just the efforts of me, the other outreach staff, there's 9 of us all over the state, just the impact that we had, so that when we weren't able to go out like we were due to the pandemic, and once some of the restrictions started getting loosened and we were able to interact, the way that the people responded to us, like, and saying, hey, we missed y'all. We definitely missed that care source presence in the community. And a lot of the partners that I've had over the time that I've been here, they've actually become friends. And so it's just that's been the biggest surprise, is that the the services have been noticed, and they have just basically taken over the hearts of the people in Georgia. Because one thing that I've noticed, when I started working Texas, I said I had never heard of it until I started working in the beginning. So this is my job, even though it's something I'm passionate about doing. It's like, well, I'm still within the framework of my job. But when I would encounter people who hired had a lifelong experience with CareSource, and to see how they felt about the company from there, and it really made me feel good. And see the way that that's starting to happen here in Georgia. That's been the biggest surprise is that the efforts that we've done have been so just have been noticed.
Got it. I'm curious about, like in your job or your role, how do you continue to learn in order to really stay on top of things? Because one of the things the pandemic has done is created this huge learning curve for all of us, right? No matter what our professions are. So I'm just curious about, how you've continued to learn in order to stay on top of things, within the work that you're doing from day to day.
Well, one thing is that uh, so this job has a lot of repetition, so a lot of my days are the same. But when something new happens, it's really new. It's really noticeable, and you have to like take it and absorb it and adapt to it pretty quickly. And I can say just overall, like this altogether, I'll say this is the eighth year in a row that I've worked for an insurance company. So like my previous job, I did customer service at different insurance companies, and I came here doing this, and it really showed me how much I didn't know about the about health insurance overall, and and what have you, and it really showed a lot of things, just a lot of, and just for lack of better words, a lot of ignorance that people had about the product and how that works, and people actually doing it. So um, once we started doing the Obamacare, the marketplace in 2019, the thing we had to do as a community marketing rep, we had to license and sell it. So that meant that I had to study it and learn it and take the test and go through it. And actually, I consider myself to be an intelligent person. I actually had to take the test 3 times because it was, just that much that I that I had to learn. And then, that to and learning that, it just showed me how much I didn't. So I have to, just stay up on all the things, and like I said, not necessarily just insurance, but the partners in my area. So I have to keep on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's how I found out about the Arts Exchange, because I know people who affiliated with the Arts Exchange, and I found out about it, and I saw the mission. I was like, wow, this is a, a, a good opportunity. So it's just having to keep updated, because the game is always changing. So I have to constantly keep monitoring and keep learning. And also now, a huge portion of the people that serve my territory through the East and South Metro area, primarily in DeKalb County, parts of Gwinnett and Clayton. I have a large Hispanic population, so I'm at a disadvantage there. So I have to learn how to speak Spanish. So just having to figure out ways to keep letting people know about the cheese. That's what that's how that's what keeps me learning, because I have to.
Yes, that Spanish is no joke. So I'm just started working in that direction to learn another language. My goal is to have five under my belt in the next 10 years. So if I could just get Spanish, it's
And also, I work in the Clarkston community, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with Clarkston out in DeKalb County,
a whole
but
nother
that's like
world.
very diverse. Yes, and so like now
Yeah.
I had uh, an elementary understanding of the Arabic language from years ago, but that was like almost 20, 30 years ago. So it's like, but there I have like Arabic art, people from Nepal. So there's like so many cultures that are there to learn, and they all receive our services. And like it's just knowing to deal with them, and also I have Vietnamese pockets in my territory and other like that. So it's having to learn how to deal with not deal. I don't want to say that. Learn how to interact and to work with these communities, that's a challenge that really keeps going as well.
Yes, I tip my hat to you because I have been in Clarkston, and I tell you, when you drive through Clarkston, it's like, okay, are we still in Georgia right now? Because
Yes.
you see, it's nothing to see someone walking with something on their head, like
Hmm.
a container I'm talking about, or a basket, and
Yes.
I just think it's the most beautiful sight, to go to Clarkston and to see the different cultures that are
Exactly.
there.
And they all live together. And
They're
you see
very kingdom
there,
mode.
um, yeah, one of our partners, the Clarkson Community Center, you see that the kids, different kids, you see them from East Africa, from Asia, you see Hispanic kids, American kids, and they don't care. The parents are there talking. So it's like it's funny how all different places in the world these people can't get along, but in Clarkston, they they live there and they love it.
It is so true. It is so true. I'm curious, what's been the hardest part of navigating the pandemic for you, personally and professionally? Especially in
Well,
terms of your own well-being, because we're talking about art and well-being.
so yeah, so the pandemic was it well, it affected me personally because in 2019, my son, my oldest son, he was in school, he was in grad school in Mississippi, and his family, his girlfriend, and my granddaughters, they came for Christmas 2019, and wound up staying because they couldn't go back. So, that was so having to adjust. As I said, having to adjust to that and learn how to live with the baby in the house again was really was really
Mhm.
culture shock. But as I said, just learning to do community relations when you're apart from the community. Now, when it first started off, we did things, mainly outreach, reaching out to our community partners to let them know that we were still there. But I think we go with a more structured environment because doing community outreach, my schedule is pretty flexible. I set my own schedule. Some days I start at 8 o'clock. Some days I don't start till say, I may work from 8 to 8 p.m. Some days, it's different. Where now it was every single day, and then you have to, and of course, CareSource is a wonderful company. I love it, but still, responsibility. And I still have my job, and so having to, you know, figure out how to do my days differently and do action and do 40 hours of actual work when when your complete job description change, which I actually found out was really not that hard because there's a lot of outreach and I learned how to use social media. So and instead of just out and sharing memes and finding out which kind of job you are, it gave an opportunity to really reach out to a lot of the communities, and there were communities in my territory because I cover like Working County all the way from Coweta in the southwest to Morgan County in the east. And there were some of these counties that physically I'm just one person I wasn't able to. So the pandemic actually allowed me to actually become closer to some of my partners in further areas, and it allowed me to be more creative with how I engaged with them and with the community. And some suggestions that I had, I was able to share with my coworkers, and conversely, they were certain workarounds they were able to share with us. So the biggest challenge was figuring out how to go from a more uh, flexible work environment to a more structured work environment, and then just work that towards my advantage and still be able to deliver the quality service we've done over the years. And so it's really been challenging, but it's really been rewarding. And I know every and and another thing is, as I said, my coworkers were all over the state. Well, previously, we would only meet last year is the most I've actually interacted with my coworkers. So it actually made us a little closer, and we have our text chat. So those were some of the challenges, but as I said, we met them and we overcame. I think.
Right? And that is something to be proud of, meeting the challenges, but most of all, overcoming them. I wanted to ask you earlier, I heard just a snippet. It was something you said about art. And
Hmm.
when was there an interest that you had in art at some point?
Yeah.
And if so,
So
what was that?
yeah. So years and years and years ago, I used to do spoken word. I was part of the Diamond Monkey Crew. I know y'all have the wonderful, legendary Miss Alice Lovelace, who any spoken word artist in Atlanta worth his or her salt. If Alice is not on your Mount Rushmore, I don't know what you're doing. And Teresa Davis and what have you. So these these were circles that I used to run in and write poetry and participate in slams and what have you. That was what I did back then. But I guess my life's journey wasn't. It just took me in a different direction. So now I don't perform as much anymore. But that just being in that artistic frame of mind just basically gave me the ability to differently. So and interacting with my peers on that level gave me the opportunity to think differently. So I bring that type of abstract to this because as you say, you have the challenges. You're gonna have to figure out how to talk to different types of people and how to get them to understand. So I think the art showed me how to do that, and also um, art unites because there were people that I would never interact with in my regular social life that I did interact with through the arts. There are people whose stories that I would not have known had I not heard their spoken word piece. Even I've seen some people they do visual art or dance and what have you. So just the way you learn how to be part of a community of diverse people that have different interests and different talents but can come together for one common goal. That that was really important to me. And I actually came and I saw the building and people like other artists who are affiliated like I like Zaki and they have a Iban Dooley and like just different iconic figures in in Black Atlanta and for artists who people who are in art. When I look at these people and I see that the challenges that they had creating this and just it really it inspired me to so not necessarily stay in that realm, but I still take that mentality to this realm and try to expand it and overall at the end of the day, as long as the community can serve that goal.
Got you. So you are a poet. All right. We might have to have you come take part in our exchange open mic on the second Friday of every month
Yes,
at 8 o'clock.
yes. When I'm available, I log on to the Zooms.
No, I'm talking about get on the list and share some of that
On there.
poetry.
Uh, uh, I'm kind of shy now, so if I can find it in me, I may come back.
Well, and the beautiful thing about Zoom is like you could turn your camera off and still drop those pearls of wisdom to the folks. So, yeah, think about it. Well, we call this our speed round because I'm going to throw some
Hmm.
questions at you and would love for you to answer them. So, I first will ask what personal healing modality is your go to when you face challenges?
Um, I breathe and I like to walk. I take walks because a lot of times I have a lot of energy and you wanna you wanna do something, and lot of times your initial reaction may feel right, but it's not right. So I just take a breath and expel that energy. Then because I got to get rid of the energy to meditate.
I love that. And what is your current passion project?
Uh, my current passion project is so we are working on well, as you know, this is June is Men's Health Month and Sunday is Father's Day, and I was working on an event, but so like June is saturated, so I pushed it off a ways. But I am working on a spa day for dads, and something,
Oh,
self care is something that a lot of men don't really think about it. People don't think that men are into that. So, working that's my passion to really get more men into self care and let them know that these things are important.
oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what gift are you taking from the pandemic?
Um, Resilience
Okay,
and understanding.
very nice. And how can people learn more about your organization? Get in touch with you. So for CareSource, is it the website? Would you give us the information for how people can learn more and how they can get in touch with you?
Yes. So you can learn more by logging on to www.caresource.com/ga. You can learn about the programs. So if you are a person who is interested in signing up for an Obamacare plan, the plan you do to the website. If you get CareSource through Medicaid and you want to enroll in life services or the rewards program, you can do that as well and look for and do find a doc and other things. You can also find the 800 number on there, or you can call me. My number is area code 404-360-4280. Again, that's 404-360-4280. So if you have any specific questions, you log onto the website, have any questions you want to know, anything, just please feel free to call me. I'm available to do presentations for your organization, your staff. If you want to collaborate on a community event, we can talk about that. I have marketing, swag, pencils, school supplies, all that good stuff. So if y'all need any information, please by all means feel free to reach out to me.
We really want to thank you for joining us today on Art Shouts and for reaching out to us, to be part of this program. And we really want to express appreciation for the work that you're doing, in service to the community. So thank you so much, Reggie, for making time to be with us today.
So thank you for having me, and thank you for all that y'all do because that's wonderful. And everybody, if you haven't been there, please go. The art gallery is awesome. I love it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for plugging our gallery. And I'm going to share with our listeners a little bit more about our program, but I want to bid you a wonderful afternoon. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So, community, you've been listening to Art Shouts, the Arts Exchange podcast, the Art and Well-Being segment, and today we had our guest Reginald Johnson, community marketing representative for CareSource here in Georgia, and just want to leave with you a few pearls of wisdom, and I call them pearls of wisdom because they come from Maya Angelou, and one of the things, one of my favorite quotes from her is that she says, I've had so many rainbows in my clouds, recalling the people who showed her kindness when life got tough. And the poet encourages us all to be a blessing to somebody. So I want to encourage you, as our listeners, to be a blessing to somebody. And I also want to encourage you to check out our website at artsexchange.org and also visit our Facebook page, Arts Exchange East Point, and you can learn more about what we have going on. And I want to tell you a couple of things that I think you'll want to get engaged with. We are producing a festival. It's called Reimagine Democracy Art and Social Justice Festival, July 24th and 25th, right here at the Arts Exchange. We're going to have an artist market. We're going to have social justice marketplace. We're going to have drumming and food and poetry and performances and art making opportunities. And we want you to get involved with all of these things. And if you're interested in becoming a vendor for this event, please visit artsexchange.org. And for general information about the festival, you can send an email to festival@artsexchange.org. We have many, many partners, and they're growing every day. 7 stages, 9 to 5 Georgia, ATL Radical Arts, Stography, the Mint Gallery, City of East Point. We couldn't thank them enough. Colonial Hills, and the list does go on and on. So if I didn't plug you as a sponsor or a partner, I want to just let you know that you are important to us, and we appreciate your support. And the other thing we have going on, we have a call for entries right now for Whose America Is It Anyway? That's our upcoming exhibition that will open on July 3rd through September 30th. So if you know any artist, the deadline is upon us. The application deadline is this coming June 21st. So we hope that if you know someone, an artist who has a voice and has something to say about Whose America Is It Anyway, tell them about this exhibition. It's a juried exhibition. We'll be giving away a first place prize, second and third, $300 to the first place. Second place will get $200, and third place is going to get $100. And it's going to be judged. The winners will be judged by Dr. Fahamu Peku. So thank you so much for joining me today on Art Shout. And I also want to thank the producer of the program, Mrs. Ziza Shepard. So thank you so much and enjoy your day. Continue to be safe out there. Blessings.